Hello and welcome to this video series on Drupal. Now in this video we're going to go ahead and cover some of the basics of setting up the configuration of our admin account, and in the process you'll also be able to do the same thing pretty much for additional accounts that you want to create along the way. Now when I say accounts, I'm referring to what Drupal calls roles, and whenever you create a role, it's a type of an account. For example, we need to create an admin account. Now there's already an administrator set up that was done through the installation process, but there's no permissions involved. The administrator kind of just exists in name only at this point. So that's what we need to do. And like I was saying, whenever we cover the administrator, you'll also see how it can be done for additional roles or accounts as they call them. So let's go ahead and jump into the administrator. Click on that, come on down here to user management, and then roles. And you can click here or here, either way it'll get you the same spot. As you can see, the program has already created a couple of them for us. The anonymous user, the person that's just kind of floating around on the website that has not logged in or may not even have an account to log in with, and then the authenticated user that is logged in. And you can go over here and edit their permissions, and we'll cover that in just a sec, but for the time being we need to create the admin. And I'm also going to suggest, and you click on add role here, I'm also going to suggest that while we're here you go ahead and create another one for yourself that has similar properties or permissions as the administrator. This way you can use it as kind of a tester, if you will. So my name being Steve, I'm going to go ahead and create one for me as well. Click on add role. Now while we're here, also I want to mention that in the event that, say for example, and this may be something you want to go ahead and do as well, you're going to, or you're in the process of creating a team, and one of those team members are say several of them even, are people that you don't know, and maybe they're through like a Rent-A-Coder or a Guru.com, somebody that's going to be doing a lot of the background work on your site for you, and you want to provide them with access but with limited permissions. Go ahead and create something for them, come up with a nice witty name, architecture, whatever. Type that in here, go to add role, select the permissions, and again I'll show you that in a sec. And then if in fact that job is complete and your site is up and running and it looks perfect and you won't need that particular role any longer, you can delete that entire group of people by just editing role. Click on that, come on over here and then click on delete role, and boom, they're gone. Now of course that's just an idea, another reason behind using the edit role. Now then, what we can do here as far as editing permissions, once we've got them all set up, and again you can add as many as you want. I don't believe there's a limit to the number of names you can have here. You can either click here for permissions and have a full page of all of these listed at the same time, or you can individually go here. Now then, myself, I'd rather see the whole picture, so we're going to go ahead and click here. And as you can see, we've got all of them listed here, and if we add several more, then they may be scrolled off to the side. I haven't got to that level yet, but now there's certain things that naturally you want and that you do not want your anonymous user to have access to, likewise for authenticated user. But Mr. Admin and yourself, you probably, especially admin, you want to have them assigned to everyone. You want to have every box checked. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Now I've checked all the boxes for admin and myself, and by default the program already has a couple of boxes checked for authenticated user and one box checked for anonymous user. Now then, as the name alludes, under comment module, filter module, menu module, well, there are additional modules that are by default, they're what they call part of the core system here, that in prior versions were add-ons or plugins or additional modules that you had to download and install. And there's a bunch of them in there, and we're going to go into those in a different video, but there's one in there that, actually a couple of them actually, that need to be activated to provide additional functionality from the get-go. And one of those items is a contact form module. may even be just called contact module, I'm not sure. But that's one thing that needs to be added here that I think the anonymous user should have access to as well. For example, at this point, the only thing they've got access to is access content, so they can see what's going on. And they can't respond, they can't do anything else other than just kind of look in the window, so to speak. So I also want them to be able to contact either myself or support in the event they have any questions prior to signing up or providing us with their name and email address. So whenever we get into the module section of these videos, then we're going to pop back here and adjust our permissions accordingly. So that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and of course after you get done checking all the boxes here, come on down here and click on Save Permissions to solidify all the work you just did. And that's pretty much it as far as permissions. And of course, as you add functionality to your site, you may want to come back here and adjust the permissions to the current users. And as you go along, you're going to want to create additional users as well. Now then, as far as somebody signing up, then they are either going, well, they're going to be authenticated users. You can assign particular roles after you've created them to additional users down the line. But as far as somebody just signing up on their own, they're going right here to authenticated users. So keep that in mind whenever you're assigning roles. Thank you for assigning permissions. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you learned something, and have a great day.